Today, we're seeing some really cheap apartments in Chinatown, and we're going in blind because I haven't seen these before. They might be awesome. They might totally suck. Either way, the prices are super low. They're so low that I'm a little nervous. And just before we head out the door, you need to know that it's now possible to read reviews of actual apartments before you see them in person. Head over to rentcity.co and get the facts on what you're about to see before you waste your time like we might be doing today in this video. Follow the link in the description and review your last apartment while you're over there, and you might win a month of free rent. Just got off the train right here at Chambers Street, and now we're gonna walk east to the apartment. This actually isn't the closest stop. The closest stop is the F train over at East Broadway, but there's a decent amount of transportation here, and if you work around this area, you could probably just walk. You wouldn't even have to get a monthly Metro card. This part of town is not super exciting on the weekends. There's a lot of government buildings and stuff down here that look pretty cool, but are all closed right now. But the good thing is that this neighborhood's not too far away from the Lower East Side or from really any of the other downtown neighborhoods that are really popular. And since the prices of the apartments that we're gonna go see are as low as they are, you'd be able to save a ton of money and still have access to things that people generally end up paying a lot more for. Now, speaking of apartments and rents, we've got 3 places to check out: a studio, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom, and these rents are all just so absurdly cheap that, like I mentioned before, I'm a little nervous that they might kind of be nightmarish in some respect, but we're gonna find out soon enough. Here we are at the building, or I should actually say buildings. It's this old school complex right here behind me. And even though we're in kind of an out of the way location, everything you need is on this block. There's actually laundry right there across the street. Downstairs, there's a little cafe. That's where the cafe is. Next to it is a gallery. And then over here, we've got, what does your store do?
Yeah, it's a hair salon.
What's the name of it?
Shapes
New York, downstairs. You've got a coffee house and a music school. Any recommendations? What's the best thing on the menu?
Cold brew.
Cold brew?
But it's cold.
Even though it's November, you need a jacket.
Yeah.
Pretty good block, everyone's friendly. Here we are in the 2-bedroom, and right after you walk in through the front door, you enter in here at the kitchen, which has the bathroom just off to the side. And what's cool is this long hallway leads to both bedrooms and the living room. Now, what's interesting is that since the living room has its own door, I guess this could be a bedroom. I personally think it's better as a 2-bedroom because then you've got the living room and you have a lot of common space here that I haven't seen in any other apartments that were this price anywhere in the city. And if 2 people split this place, it's only $850 each. That's not bad. The living room's a good size. It's 11 feet 2 inches by 8 feet 10 inches. Definitely you could get a couch and an entertainment center in here, no problem. The view that we've got is of a construction site. It looks like across the street from the building, they are actually building another building, which I can only imagine will have higher rent than this place. Both of the bedrooms are pretty equal. The room closest to the living room is 10 by 8 feet 10 inches, and the room closest to the kitchen is 6 feet 11 inches by 8 feet 4 inches. All right, I guess that's not really equal. This room is definitely a little bit smaller, but both rooms have the exact same view of nothing really. There's not a lot of sunlight coming in here, but that will be good for sleeping. And they've also got just about the same amount of closet space. You can definitely fit more stuff here in the bigger room, but for the price point, neither of these is a bad value when you consider that we are downtown in a 2-bedroom with a living room and a separate kitchen. Most of the time, apartments like this have a living room and a kitchen that are in the exact same room. You could get a kitchen table right against the wall here. It's got a full-size refrigerator, a decent oven with a vent, and there's a window right next to where the oven is, and another one right over here. Definitely not a bad kitchen. Here we are in the bathroom, and it's a little on the older side, but I think it's workable. This right here can be swapped out. It's to protect you from getting burned by this pipe, which heats up in the winter to keep you warm. But in spite of that, definitely it's usable. Standing shower instead of a tub. It's got a pretty good window, which is a major plus. There's a medicine cabinet, and the sink's not half bad. Toothbrushes and stuff can go right over here. Now what we're gonna do is actually head next door and look at the studio, and then we'll come back over here and see the 3-bedroom. All right, here we are in the studio, and boy, it's pretty apparent that you definitely pay a premium to have your own apartment if you don't want to have a roommate. I am glad that there's a good amount of sunlight coming in from this window, and that's definitely not something I expected because we're on a low floor here and the view's not anything incredible. But what's nice is you've kind of got the living area over here and the kitchen tucked away off to the side over in this direction. The living space is 13 feet 2 inches by 10 feet. Not bad. You should be able to get a queen size bed and a small living room setup in here. You'd probably put the bed in this corner. All of the entertainment stuff can go over here. And you could have some seating kind of right here in the middle of the room or against the wall right here if you put the bed lengthwise. Now the kitchen here is really basic, but it does come with a leaf table. This is good because since the apartment's not that big, you do have a spot to sit and eat something that's not over by where your bed is. You've got these interesting metal cabinets right here off to the side of the kitchen. Haven't seen that before. That's cool, all 3 of them open at once. Stove's got 4 burners. The sink's a good size, the counter space, Glamorous, no. Workable, yes. But let's see the bathroom. All right, real talk, not my favorite bathroom, but it is workable. The standing shower is over here. Next to it, you've got the sink and the medicine cabinet. Okay, there's a medicine cabinet. I can deal with this. There's also a window, and we've got some shelving built into the wall. The longer I spend in here, the more I am kind of getting used to this place. And I think that for one person who wants to spend $13.75 in rent and not have any roommates, this isn't bad. We've seen places that are this price, but those were equally terrible and they didn't get as much sunlight. You can check out that video if you want to. I'll leave a link. But now what we're gonna do is head next door and see the 3-bedroom. Oh boy, this one is pretty high up. Right now we're on the 6th floor, but since the hallways here are pretty well lit, it should be nice and sunny. All right, not gonna bother turning on any lights because this place is amazingly bright. And that's good, you're gonna save a lot of money on electricity. Right after you walk in, you're in the common space, which is also the kitchen. Not brand new, but you get the full-size fridge, the same oven and vent that we saw in the first place, which was a 2-bedroom. And you've got enough counter space to make more than just sandwiches. If it were me, I would try to get a kitchen table right in the center of this room. I think that makes the most sense. You might be able to get a drop table like we saw in the studio against this wall. Now the bathroom is right here next to the kitchen. And I think out of all the bathrooms we've seen today, this one is my favorite. It's got a window, there's good light. You get a bathtub instead of a shower. And there's also a little tiny medicine cabinet right here. If you think the other 2 bathrooms are better than this one, please fight me in the comments. I think it's the best. But the best thing about this apartment has to be these bedrooms. The first room's 9 feet 11 inches by 11 feet. The room next to it's 10 feet 5 inches by 8 feet 9 inches. And the smallest room's 7 feet 2 inches by 9 feet 2 inches. This room will fit a queen size bed, so will this room. This little guy right here, whoever rents this, is gonna have to be very efficient or very minimalist with their lifestyle. Because of the way it's laid out, your bed has to go in this corner, and it's gonna have to be the smallest bed you can tolerate because there's not a lot of room in here. But it does have 2 windows. The sunlight coming in here is really good, and it's also got a pretty decent closet as far as apartments in this price range go. My favorite room though has to be this one here in the center. You've got 2 big windows, a direct view of the bridge, and it's even got a little mirror right here attached to the closet. We were just in this room, and this one right here is almost as good. You've got the same cool view out of these windows, and the closet that we've got here is just as big as it is in the other rooms. Let me know in the comments which of these 3 apartments is your favorite. And if you want to rent any of these, there's a link in the video description to the listing agent where you can get all your questions answered. But if you're not done looking at apartments and you want to see more, boom, right here are more apartment tours. Check out one of those and I'll see you in the next video.